Since childhood, almost all of us receive the exact same set of instructions. Go to school, get good grades, secure a safe job, and diligently save a portion of your paycheck. Millions of people execute this plan flawlessly. They graduate, they work 40-hour weeks, and they put money away. Yet a massive percentage of these exact same people spend their entire adult lives living paycheck to paycheck, battling constant financial anxiety. This cycle is commonly called the rat race. It is a rigid, repeating loop of trading your time and labor for a salary solely to cover endlessly recurring bills. When a universally accepted formula for success reliably produces lifelong financial struggle, the problem lies with the formula itself. The rules we are taught about money are broken. Robert Kiyosaki saw this flaw up close through two contrasting figures in his life. The first, his biological father, was highly educated, holding degrees from elite institutions like Stanford. He valued job security above all else, yet remained trapped in financial hardship. The second figure, his best friend's father, was a high school dropout. He bypassed formal credentials to build a multi-million-dollar empire through a deep understanding of how money actually works. If academic pedigree and hard work do not guarantee financial stability, there must be a completely different operating system separating these two outcomes. The root cause of middle-class financial struggle comes down to widespread confusion between two basic concepts: assets and liabilities. This simple diagram illustrates the strict functional difference. An asset is very simply something that puts money into your pocket. It generates cash flow independently, whether you are physically working or not. Conversely, as we see on the other side of the chart, a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. But watch what happens when we look at primary residences and personal vehicles. Society traditionally labels these as your greatest assets. Functionally, they require mortgages, property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. They constantly pull cash out of your pocket. True financial literacy has nothing to do with the size of your salary. It is the ability to accurately identify which of these two columns you are feeding with your income. Let's trace the life cycle of a traditional paycheck. By the time it hits a standard bank account, a significant portion has already been consumed by taxes, and the rest is immediately earmarked for rent, food, and utilities. This process is driven largely by fear, the fear of losing a job, and the intense desire for security. These emotions keep people entirely focused on their employer's business, leaving them no time or capital to build their own. When this system does produce a raise or a promotion, the extra income is rarely invested. Instead, it is used to finance larger, more expensive liabilities, like a bigger house or a newer car. This closed-loop flowchart maps the exact mechanical failure of the traditional approach. Income flows straight into liabilities, increasing the cost of living, which forces the individual to work harder, generating more stress and looping right back to the beginning. This operating system mathematically guarantees a life of trading time for money. It makes out-earning the rat race impossible because every increase in income creates an equal increase in expenses. The wealthy operate on entirely different logic. Instead of working for a steady salary, they work primarily to acquire high-leverage skills, like sales, accounting, and system management. Armed with those skills, they actively invent money. They take calculated risks to spot market opportunities and hidden value that others overlook because they are too focused on job security. Looking at this alternative flowchart, we see what happens when those individuals channel their capitals strictly into true assets. By buying cash-flowing real estate, stocks, or businesses, the assets themselves create new income streams. The physical labor requirement is bypassed entirely. They also utilize structural advantages, specifically corporations. A traditional employee earns money, pays taxes, and tries to live on what is left. A corporation earns money, spends everything it can on expenses, and is taxed only on the remainder. By combining passive income with corporate leverage, money transitions from a daily survival requirement into an automated tool that works relentlessly on behalf of its owner. The divide between these two paths defines your financial future. One group works for money, the other engineers systems where money works for them. Shifting from one system to the other requires abandoning the pursuit of temporary job security in favor of permanent financial freedom. This chart represents the exact mathematical tipping point. Escaping the rat race happens the specific moment the passive income generated from your asset column exceeds your monthly living expenses. Achieving this requires a strict audit of your own financial behavior. Every dollar that moves through your hands is a choice. Is it buying an asset that will earn you freedom, or financing a liability that requires more labor? To break out of the maze, the cycle of earning and spending must be interrupted. Stop minding someone else's business and start building your own.